Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 9 Episode 22 Tell All No Limits Part 4. We are finally at the final part of this dragged out tell all. And we got a lot to talk about in this. This was the part I've been waiting for since part 1. Before we get started, I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend and everything. I had a good weekend and stuff with family and friends and stuff. I hope everyone else did as well. So yeah, let's just begin this crazy part. It was just draining. Now, let's start with where we left off last week. Remember, we left off last week with Jasmine and Matt having a conversation, and then Gina comes out. And Jasmine says, "What do you want, Gina?" Gina comes out and asks, like, what are you crying about? And Jasmine is like, nobody understands me. I don't know, Matt wants to be with me, but I'm not ready to be married and everything. Jasmine is just so confused, and we'll talk more about this later. But I just, So then she's telling Gina to go back inside. It's cold out. Now, mind you, they filmed this tell-all in June, so it's summertime. And he was like, it's not that cold. And then she starts laughing. It's cold in Michigan. Remember, every day, and smile, every day I was checking the temperature and stuff and everything. And then Matt was just like, what do you guys, why are you guys getting along now and everything? And Jasmine was like, we're not getting along. Gina, go back inside, please, and everything. And Gina's just like, whatever, you guys are trash. And yeah, Jasmine, oh my God. Ugh, I'm sorry, guys. Jasmine just really makes me irk a little bit. So, moving on. So, it's finally the last day of the tell-all. And everybody is back in the studio. Next in the hot seat is once again the Florida couples, mostly Elizabeth and Andre in this scene. Before we got back on stage, in the green room, we've seen a conversation with Jasmine and Julia, saying that Jasmine was telling Julia that Matt's mom was saying that there is, like, if he didn't want to be with Jasmine, there's this Romanian girl that's lined up and wants him or whatever and everything. Just some BS, basically. And yeah. So, and then we seen Elizabeth and Andre, they get into an argument because it's been a while since we talked about it, but Andre still wants Elizabeth to move to Moldova, and Elizabeth doesn't. So there's been a lot of ultimatums. Remember at the beginning of the season, he made that ultimatum that move or we're going to separate or whatever and everything. So they got into an argument about that and everything. So we get back on set and we kick things back off with the Florida couples. Now, Sean Robinson asked Lauren and Alexi something. Like, Lauren and Alexi didn't get their own personal segment. It was just like an involvement of everything else. Sean had asked Lauren that you and your mom had a fallout. And Lauren said, yeah, we did have a fallout. We're trying to repair this relationship, basically. And like Sean asked what happened, and Lauren didn't want an answer. And which is fine. She said it's personal, and we just don't feel like we need to share this with the world. And I can respect that to an extent. I can respect that. But at the same time, this is the tell-all. But if you're not going to say, like, okay, because you guys needed your own segment too. If you're not going to tell about your relationship, then why are you here, in my opinion? Now, I understand, I agree to the extent that maybe they don't need to share every little personal thing. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. It's already enough being on national TV with our business out there. We don't need to go too deep in that. So I'll respect that part, but they did not give them a segment just to see, okay, how's Lauren and Lexi doing? How the kids doing, at least, and everything. They could at least did that instead of what we gone through. So then we talked to Jovi and Yara, And they brought up the scene when they were at Lake Plastic when they were playing Never Have I Ever, and Jovi had made the comment about Yara's old pictures and everything, saying how ridiculous they were and stuff and everything. So they replayed that scene, and Yara starts crying. She said that she was bullied a lot as a kid, and especially from her family and everything, which was messed up and everything. So Jovi's like, look at her. She's really beautiful, right? And everything. He is sorry for what he said and everything. Now, I forgot to mention this last week. Last week, Jasmine was having a conversation with Jovi and Yara. Jasmine said that Yara's a 10 and Jovi's a 3.5, basically, and everything. Now, in my opinion, that was messed up. Everybody commenting on looks like that, that's messed up. That is really messed up. Because, okay, yes, Yara is very beautiful on the outside. I mean, Jovi's a good looking dude and everything, but who is Jasmine or anybody this call, okay, to like basically, and Guillermo actually called this out, and he was like, why don't we defend somebody instead of insult somebody and stuff and everything? Because a lot of girls do, I mean, guys do it too, but just people in general do this a lot. Like, I'll compliment you. Oh, you look nice, but your partner. Ooh, why you with you deserve much better than your partner, or you're better looking than your partner and everything. Like who the heck are you to say that? Okay, thanks for the compliment, but at the same time, don't be insulting my partner and everything. So I had a good friend of mine tell me how, like, my girlfriend is beautiful, but I'm ugly. And that was coming from a friend of mine, basically. And I did, and I didn't think much of it because I know my friend, but at the same time, but looking back, like me and my girlfriend had a conversation about it. Like, how do you really feel about what your friend said? And that hurts. That hurts. Coming from your friend, and you just don't do that. You don't say like, "Oh, you're one's a 10, but you're less than like that." I'm sorry, guys. I digress, but I mean that just really, really really got under my skin hearing that, and I felt Yara's pain from that scene because remember when that scene originally happened, like I was really hard on Jovi during that scene and stuff and everything. So they talked about that, and then we finally circled back to Elizabeth and Andre, and then talked about the Moldova trip. And Andre said that about that $75,000, he did fix that and everything, and he made more money from that somehow, somewhere, whatever. We didn't get too deep into it with that, but they talked about mostly about how he about the ultimatum, and Elizabeth just doesn't want to move. And the cast said, like, how are you just going to tell your wife that she's going to do something she don't really want to do? And he's like, well, I'm the man. I wear the pants in this relationship. Elizabeth's like, well, go wear the pants in Moldova. Like, I'm glad she's finally stepping up, standing up to him to an extent. But this was the part that I've been waiting for. They brought back this scene from episode 1 when we were at Lauren and Alex's housewarming party, and Lauren's friend Noga came in. And now I totally forgot what happened on episode 1. I just remember all the screaming, but I forget what the conversation was about. I knew it was about Moldova, but I forgot what was said. And it started with Andre and Lauren arguing, and Andre made that mama bear comment and everything, which pissed off Noga, and then turned into what that was. So they brought out Noga, and Andre kept on saying, "Oh, bring out Doga," and everything. And Lauren and Alexi were just like, "Quit calling her that. What is wrong with you?" And screaming at him, like, you don't have to be their advocate and everything. So Noga, not Doga, but Noga comes out, and Andre is just going crazy, just calling her a dog and everything. Noga actually came out humble and everything. Now, when she came out, Elizabeth was like, very ballsy of her to make an appearance and everything. Noga comes out, Andre comes in hot, and Sean had to calm everybody down and say and talk to Noga. And Noga said, "Look, I don't have anything against Elizabeth. Um, she says she does take accountability for how she reacted and everything, and she did apologize for that. But Andre didn't accept that. He wanted a direct apology from that and everything. He was like demanding her an apology, and Lauren and Lexi were screaming like, "No, don't just no, you don't, no, don't give him an apology. No, you said what you had to say. No, don't do that and everything." And yeah, Andre just started just screaming and just calling names and everything. Finally, like Kara said that, I can see why like everybody gets frustrated with Andre because how he speaks to people is rough. And Elizabeth was like, Kara's got a point. And Elizabeth, for the first time ever, Elizabeth walked off. And we had never seen Elizabeth walk off. So Andre asked Julia to go check on Elizabeth and everything. And then, Elizabeth, she goes from really mad at Andre to now she wants to defend him to Noga and everything. So I know I'm mad at Andre, but as a woman, like nobody wants to see their husband get attacked. So she storms back on stage and everything and comes after Noga and it's like, "Where's your effing apology?" And Nugget's like, "I don't have an he does not deserve an apology for anything." And Elizabeth started screaming at Noga. It was just like, "But as a woman, you should apologize," and this, and that. Kind of reminded me of the Natalie and Jasmine thing and everything. And it was just all kind of screaming, like Lauren and Lexi were screaming, like, "No, don't apologize." And everything. We just got nowhere. We got nowhere with it. Andre was just Lauren and Alexi are right about Andre. He is the D word, and he is a horrible person. Okay, yes, he may be a good father, whatever. You're supposed to be. But how he is around people, he is not a classy person. I couldn't bring him to church with me. Definitely never bring him to a family gathering. No. I could not. I wouldn't be able to do it, and everything. So Noga, she did. Sean asked Noga, "Is there anything you want to say?" She's like, "After all of that happened, I did take some time to reflect on myself. I take accountability on my part, but I don't regret what I said and everything." And she goes backstage and says, like, "I tried to come here, be civil with it, but clearly they weren't." So Lauren and Alexi, they were so fired up and pissed off. They run to give Noga a hug and kiss, like, "You did your thing." Just said, "Don't give Elizabeth and Andre the time of day," basically, and everything. So that was sad. That was basically sad because Andre did a video today on Instagram talking about that scene and everything, saying how like he gave his side of what happened that night and saying that she was like a coming out of she wasn't in a good place at the time, coming out of a relationship and everything, and basically said that she was probably like one of them actors and stuff. I don't believe a single how Andre acted and everything. I don't believe a single word he says when it comes to that. Now everybody's gonna when people say that, "Oh, everything's scripted and everything," they're gonna use the scripted card and say, "Oh, this is scripted, this is BS, this is," and everything. BS. Now, how they're exaggerating it and how they won't stop talking about it, maybe that's a little bit scripted, but all that stuff is real. I'm so tired of people pulling the scripted card as well and everything. I got to talk to people from 90 Day. They said their stuff is real. Who cares what Statler and Riley said and everything? They didn't get along with production, and their 90-day journeys didn't work and everything. So they're going to say everything was fake and everything on their stuff and everything. But not everybody's story is fake and everything. And not everybody has beef with production. Sorry, just my opinion. So we get back on stage and we continue with the Elizabeth and Andre and the Moldova thing. and and they talked about heighting the $75,000, telling Jovi and Alexi, and then Jovi said that you shouldn't hit that from your wife. Then Andre gonna be an a-hole as he is, and be like, well, dude, well, look at you now. You telling me all the time you're gonna divorce your wife because she don't move back to Louisiana. And we're like, what? Everybody was just like, what? Jovi, you trying to divorce Yara? And this is news to Yara. Like, you telling him to divorce? And now Jovi gonna be quiet and everything. Jovi needs to realize something. He needs to quit. Jovi needs to quit drink. One, he needs to quit drinking, and two, he needs to quit telling Andre things, because Andre is not somebody you could talk to deep a bit. You could tell somebody like me, and I would keep that a secret and would never expose that and everything, or at least I would really try not to expose that. Andre is not that person you can trust, and I don't know why he confides in Andre. Well, Andre's the last person you want to trust and confide those deep secrets. So Jovi needs to really, really try not to do that. So they asked Jovi like, "What's going on?" basically, and he said that we've been fighting a lot. I want to come back to Louisiana. She wants to stay in Miami. I know there's been that dynamic, and Elizabeth had called out, "Well, Jovi, didn't you go see a divorce lawyer? This is the tell all. We're gonna tell all, buddy." And Jovi denied that. He did not go into a divorce lawyer. Now Yara's upset and everything. So Jovi wants to divorce me. I have nobody here and everything. He's my support system and everything. I do want to fight for this marriage. Now, this is the first time I ever heard Yara say that she wants to fight to save her marriage out of love. Because for a while, remember, I always made that joke that she always would say, I hate you, Jovi. I've been miserable in this country for 5 years. I'm taking me and mother back to Ukraine. Remember, I always make fun of that because that's the stuff she always would say. Jovi would claims that she always would threaten divorce too, so he feels like, why is she getting mad? Well, neither one of you should be doing that and everything. And we'll talk more about that in a second. So they did that, and we just got nowhere with Elizabeth, Andre, Lauren, Alexi, and Trevor and Yar. So we ended the in studio tell all like that. Like, everybody, let's just go back to the house. So just screw this. This is BS. We seen a scene where when Elizabeth was talking to Sean, and Elizabeth apologized to Sean for walking on. She's like, I never did that. And, she's still hurt by the Lauren thing and everything. And Lauren and Alexi are just done with Elizabeth and Andre. Now, I wonder if Lauren and Alexi have reached out to them, or at least to Elizabeth, to offer their condolences after Elizabeth lost her father Chuck in the last couple of weeks. Because remember, last week we found out that Chuck passed away, and he passed away 3 weeks ago from now. So I wonder if they at least reached out to her. That probably not. Nobody's asked. I haven't seen nothing. So anyway, we get back to the house and everything, and Gino. Everybody's making jokes on Gino now because remember on the first part of the tell when Jasmine took off her panties and poured liquid on them and stuff and everything and put them in Gino's suitcase when she got mad. Well, everybody found out about that. Basically, she confessed to that, and so everybody made Gino just act goofy, get her panties out of the closet and out of the suitcase and put them on and put on a captain's hat or whatever just to be goofy. And Guillermo even everybody was like, he got the panties out. He's like, ooh, they're wet. And then he gave them to Darcy, and Darcy, ooh, no. And then Guillermo puts them on just to be funny and everything. That was hilarious. So, I mean, that scene is just a whatever, but just a little release tension here. So then we seen Lauren and Alexi pack up their stuff and leave, and they're like, we're done. And we know they always leave the house early. They did it last season. Remember last season when Thais and Sophie called them out for leaving early? And nobody called them out this time, but they're just trying now. Like I said earlier, with Lauren and Alexi, it's kind of disappointing that they didn't talk about their personal stuff and everything. It's just like, why are you there if you're not going to talk about at least something? You don't have to talk about what happened with your mother, but just talk about something. Like, okay, are you and like I said, are you and Alexi good? How are the kids? What's the status of your marriage and stuff? And at least those kind of things, basically. But whatever, it's whatever. So then we seen Jasmine and Yara have a conversation. And Yara is still upset about what happened. She's like, me and Jovi been fighting for years and everything. I do want to save my marriage, yada yada yada, and everything. It's hard and all that. Then she asked about her. Then Yara asked about Jasmine and Matt. Jasmine revealed something. Okay, I guess when she asked Matt to be in this open marriage, she made a rule to Matt that he had to be single, and because he didn't want no drama and not him not screwing anybody else. Which, okay, you don't get to make the rules of that. I mean, you don't tell me my rules. Okay, I'll follow your, if you can do this open marriage, I'll follow your rules, but you don't make rules for me. You don't make rules of what I have to do, basically. I can do whatever I want, basically. So she has no room to talk. Well, I guess like prior, there was this Romanian girl, Elizabeth, that his mom really liked and told her, and they were talking. I guess they even hooked up a few times, and he was originally going to move in with her for a month before he got his own place and stuff or whatever, before his lease was up. He denied hooking up to her at first, but then after everything that happened about this whole expiration date on the relationship, she decides to bring that up. So after she was done talking to Yara, Jasmine goes to talk to Matt and say like, "What are you?" and say, "Were you hooking up with her? Yes or no?" And she's like, "Are you still in love with Gino?" This is why you bringing this up. And she's like, "Don't gaslight me. Were you hooking up with her or not? Look me in my eyes, Matt. Look me in my eyes." And she was just like, and he was just like, "Okay, but this was over a year ago, and this was before." He's like, "It doesn't matter. You were screwing her, and I told you not in doing this open marriage that you had to be single, not screwing anybody." He's like, "Well, I wasn't. I wasn't in a relationship with her." He was like, We were together before you moved in, and he cut it off before Jasmine moved in, and before we became somebody. It's that simple." And then Jasmine's flipping out on Matt and everything, and she goes inside and everything, and then she tells Gino, you don't have to deport me. I'm going to self-deport myself. And then Matt was like, "If you just want to be with Gina, just go be with Gina and just leave me alone." And then she starts screaming, "You shut up," and everything. So like Jovi and Georgie were like, "Matt, is this what you really want to deal with? Because look how she's treated Gina. Look how she's treating you. Is this how you really want to deal with?" And Matt's just like, at this point, at this point, you guys are right. Like, I don't know if I want to deal with this. Like, at this point, I'm just here. I just want my child, basically, and everything. So Gina decides to go out and have a conversation with Jasmine, and Jasmine saying, "I really," and they had that conversation that we've been seeing in the previews the whole time. That Jasmine was saying, "I really loved you, Gina. I know you don't think I did. I really loved you. I don't want to be with Matt. I never wanted to be with Matt." And Gina's like, "I don't really believe that because you're happy now." And she's like, "I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I was obsessed with you in Panama. I never loved anyone the way I loved you, Gina," and everything. He don't really believe that. And as she's saying that, here comes Matt in the background, like coming in, "Bro, are we going to the hotel or not?" and everything. He hears Jasmine says, "I don't want to be with Matt, and I still love you, Gina." So Jasmine is just playing both. Like, she don't know what she wants now. She's still with Matt. They're still together, but she be posting all these cryptic stuff on her social media. One day she's mad at Matt. Next minute, like, she's cooking for him and cooking for the family and everything. She is just the most draining 90-dayer in history. She's more draining than Angela and Ed combined, because the whole thing about about him, like he's supposed to be single, like Jasmine, and you're mad that he hooked up with some girl before you. Jasmine, you're married and in an open marriage, and you're screwing somebody, you're cheating on your husband with him, and you're telling him not to do. He's single, he could do whatever heck he wants and everything. You don't get to tell me nothing. You're the one who wanted this. You're the one who wanted me. Like, I didn't ask to be in this. I just accepted it on your behalf. That girl got some problems, and I don't have any respect for somebody like Jasmine, and I'm still like really ticked off about what she said to Jovi. Now, and I'm not a big Jovi fan on how he speaks to Yara and stuff, but just the whole thing with the Yara being a 10 and him being a 3.5, like, who are you? And I think, like, if somebody would say that to, like, someone would tell me, like, would say, oh, Nathan, you're a great looking guy, but your girlfriend is not. Like I said, thanks for the compliment, but you're not going to talk about my girlfriend like that. My girlfriend is very beautiful. Thank you very much. Like, I wish Yara would have. I know that they're probably like joking and laughing, but I wish Yara would have defended that. And I know Elizabeth would. So everybody, but as for everybody else is starting to like pack up and leave. They asked Kara and Guillermo, do y'all want to get back together? And Guillermo says yes. Kara starts crying. She's like, when I look into his eyes, I see things. They had a conversation. They had a video chat with their son Nico, and they miss each other. Brandon and Julia left, and about to go baby preparing and everything. Darcy and Georgie left. Whatever. Gina left. Jovi and Yara left. When Jovi and Yara left, Yara was giving everybody a hug, and Elizabeth was just sitting there, and and they asked, "Are you gonna give Yara a hug?" And she's like, "I don't know." Yara went up to Elizabeth and gave her a hug, and Elizabeth gave her a half-ass hug, basically. Now this time that was a half-ass hug compared to what happened with Lauren last year and everything, and like. Yara was like, what the heck, Elizabeth? I didn't do nothing to you. Why you, like, brushing me off like that and everything? Like, even Yara even gave Andre a hug. Andre gave her a hug and everything. And Jovi and Yara's like, Elizabeth and Andre, they just like, it's just high school. They just want us to pick sides because we like Lauren and Alexi and everything, but whatever. And Jovi and Yara's like, we got a lot to talk about, basically. I know some things were said today and everything, but we'll talk about it. Now, with Jovi and Yara did a question and answer. Someone asked her on Instagram. Someone asked her like, "What's your advice to maintain a healthy relationship?" And she was like, "I don't really know what a healthy marriage is. Maybe I'll know someday." Typical, typical Yara response. So it's always something with them. It's always something. So Elizabeth and Andre leave, and then Gina leaves, and then Jasmine and Matt leave. Matt revealed to Jasmine and to the guys that, I just thought of something. What if the baby's not mine? Remember Jasmine's ex-boyfriend from Panama, that's Australian Dane, that she always used to, like, rub in Gina's face? Well, Matt revealed that Jasmine has been going to New York alone, and wouldn't think much of it, but she would randomly talk about Dane and Dane's new girlfriend, basically. And we're like, if you haven't spoke to him, how do you know about his new girlfriend and everything? And now he lives in New York, and you're going to New York like by yourself. So when Jasmine and Matt get in the car to go back to the hotel, Matt was like, "That baby is mine, right?" And Jasmine was like, "Well, what the F you just say?" And she's like, "Well, I think the baby could be Dane. She's been going to New York a lot, and he lives in New York, and the baby's blonde." She's like, "What the heck? I don't have to wait until this lease is up and everything. And one of us is about to move out right now and everything." He's like, "Bye, bro. Bye. I don't really care." But they still together. Now, that's just a whatever scene because the baby's clearly Matt's. And Matt even said, well, if the baby's mine or not, well, if it's mine or not, it's going to be problems because, like, I'm not happy at this point. So, yeah. But the baby's clearly Matt's. It's Matt's, and they're still together. So, and that was it. We are done. It's done. It's done. Happily Ever After Season 9 is done. We are done. 22 weeks later, it's done. It's done. That leads us into the premiere next week of my favorite spinoff, Before the 90 Days. So Before the 90 Days comes back next Sunday. I'll be here to recap it when we get all new couples and all new storylines and everything. I'm so excited. I'm so glad Happily Ever After's done. This is the spinoff I hate the most. B90 is the one I love the most. We're going to what I hate to what I love. I'm sorry, but I cover it anyway. I'm just glad it's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. It's done. No more Jasmine. Hopefully no more Jasmine forever, really. Rumor has it that Gino will be on the Single Life, and that's all I know for that. I'm thinking Single Life will come back after The Other Way ends, because rumor has it that Gino is filming Between the Sheets for Single Life. And also rumor has it that Kara and Guillermo, for The Last Resort, didn't commit, and Kara is now filming for Hunt for Love Season 2. So we'll see if all those are accurate and everything. But as for right now, Happily Ever After is done. Like I said, no more Elizabeth and Andre, Jovi, Yara, Lauren and Lexi. No more Brandon and Julia. I hope Julia can post that she had the baby, because I'm just kind of curious and everything. I'm still sad about Karen Guillermo, and of course, no more Darcy and Georgie. So it's over. Happily Ever After done. B90 begins next week. So anyway, guys, I thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please check if you are subscribed. I lost a couple subscribers last week because I think YouTube has been playing games and unsubscribing people, and it happened twice last week. So please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I really hope you guys enjoy my content. I will be back on tomorrow to recap The Other Way. And then, of course, be back next week for the premiere B90. So I thank you guys again for all your love and support. And I will see y'all again soon. Love you guys. Bye.